Okay, next target. Hey, there's our buddy. I wouldn't stand back there. Okay, here it is. FX Maverick Quick Tune System. 2 new accessories for the FX Maverick or the Wildcat. First one is a regulator screw adjustment knob. Now, the regulator adjustment is toolless. Second part of the kit is the hybrid hammer adjuster. Replaces the factory power wheel and micro adjust screw, all in one adjustment knob. Also, toolless. Let's take a little bit closer look. All right, for those of you who are not familiar, let's look at how the factory components were designed to work. So on the original power wheel, it has 8 unique points of adjustment. 1 to 7 and adjust. Adjust is actually 0. But each of these points of adjustment, if we turn it over, this is your 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, all the way down to adjust. Each of these steps is a 0.5 millimeter from one to the other. So if you're on 7 and you adjust to 6, you're stepping down 0.5 millimeter, or you're removing a 0.5 millimeter of compression from your hammer spring. If we go from 1 to 2, you're adding a 0.5 millimeter of compression to your hammer spring. 0.5 millimeter for each step. So that's how the power wheel works. This is the fine adjustment screw that is attached to the spring cup that holds the hammer spring. This screw has a thread with a 0.5 millimeter pitch. So each revolution you turn this screw in or out, you're either adding a 0.5 millimeter of compression to your hammer spring, or you're removing a 0.5 millimeter of compression. That does its job. It's just cumbersome to use because you always had to use a 1.5 millimeter Allen wrench to do the tuning. The main issue with the power wheel is that a 0.5 millimeter between each step is actually quite a bit of adjustment. A lot of times, depending on how high you have your regulator set, that can often be 20, 30, 40 feet per second of adjustment, which is quite a bit if you were looking for 5 or 10 or 2 or 3 feet of adjustment. That's how the power wheel works. And then the regulator adjustment was just a 2.5 millimeter Allen wrench to turn this counterclockwise. Usually you're going to want to increase the regulator pressure and only decrease it when the rifle has been completely degassed, because you don't want to tighten the adjustment screw into the pressure, but you can loosen it away from the pressure. Okay, let's take a look at each of the components in the kit. First off is the regulator adjustment knob. This is the factory regulator adjustment screw. All I've done is I've added the knob and it's glued in to the adjustment screw, and it's not meant to be removed. So if you wear out the adjustment screw, you can always get another factory one, or you'll be able to buy another one with the knob from eBay. So that's pretty self-explanatory. No wrench needed. Use the knob instead. Long story short, you're going to remove the power wheel screw. You're going to remove the power wheel. You're going to remove the detent ball bearing, and you're going to remove the fine adjust screw. Those components are going to be replaced with these 2 components. 4 millimeter screw that goes in the same hole as the power wheel screw, and the hybrid hammer spring adjuster. So the way this is designed to work is it starts at 10. 10 is basically 0. So when you're at 10, that is 0 additional compression on the hammer spring. Okay, so these should basically be flush. And when you've got this installed on the rifle, when you've got it cocked, you can actually dial it back a little bit. Cock the rifle, and when you get to 10, it should basically stop. And that's because the spindle from the micrometer head is now interfacing with the spring cup. So if you want to add compression, and this micrometer head, 1 revolution is 0.5 millimeter. So if we turn this 1 revolution, that's a 0.5 millimeter. So now we're at 9.5 millimeters. And that's exactly the same as the power wheel going from 1 to 2, or the fine adjustment screw turning it out 1 full revolution. If you want to add another 0.5 millimeter, you go down to 9. You want to add a whole millimeter, you go down to 8. But the beauty of this is it's a micrometer, so it's designed to measure distance. And you're just measuring the distance that you're adding compression to the hammer spring. So for each revolution, it's a 0.5 millimeter. There's no fine adjustment and there's no coarse adjustment anymore. There's no macro, micro. It's just a single knob. Basically, the range you're going to get, plus or minus manufacturing tolerance, you'll be able to go from 10 all the way down to, let's see if I can do it while looking at this through the camera. You'll be able to go from 10 all the way down to 3.5. So there's approximately 6.5 millimeters of total adjustment. Once you get past about 3.5 millimeters, the gun won't cock anymore. So that's your maximum hammer spring at that point. So it's going to be a little different rifle to rifle, but it's approximately 6 to 6.5 millimeters. The micrometer spindle here has basically pushed that spring cup forward 6.5 millimeters. And that's how much additional compression you're putting on the hammer spring. So that's, in a nutshell, how this works. Okay, so basically the Maverick with the quick tune system, I could compare this. Now it's much closer to, say, a BRK Ghost. The Ghost has the regulator adjustment up here, and it's a knob, and I believe you can turn it with your fingers, so it is toolless. But with the Ghost, there's only 20 unique points of adjustment on that power wheel. If we compare this to an Impact, with the Impact, you have to use tools on both regulators, and the power wheel on the Impact has 16 points of adjustment, and the micro adjustment portion has 20 marked points of adjustment, but you can get in between marked points on the micro adjust. The big advantage to the quick tune system for the Maverick is the resolution is much finer. So if the Ghost has 20 points of adjustment and the M3 Impact has 36 points, this going from 10 to 3.5 millimeters in hundredths is really 650 unique points of adjustment. So the resolution on your adjustment is, you know, an order of magnitude greater. So that's one of the very unique things about this system, is the very high resolution with the micrometer head. Okay, last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate how the system's designed to work. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to chrono 4 different weights of pellets. I'm going to chrono a 20 grain, a 25 grain, a 29 grain, and a 34 grain. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sneak up on the proper regulator pressure for each one of those weights, and then I'm going to fine tune it with the hybrid adjustment knob. I'm going to try and run all 4 of those weights at exactly 900 feet per second. We're going to do 10-shot strings to see if we can get an ES in the single digits and a standard deviation of 1 or 2. So let me get set up for the chrono work, and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. Pellet is an H&N Field Target Trophy at 20.06 grain. I'll put a picture up on the screen. Let's go ahead and see if we got our radar set up correctly. I'm going to try, I've already practiced this a little bit, so I know that these 20 grain pellets will need a regulator pressure of around 70 bar. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to over adjust the hammer spring. So I know that to get the 20 grain pellet at 900 feet per second, I'm going to need around 70 bar and around 9.0 on the dial. So I'm going to over adjust this to 8.0, so that's 2 full millimeters of compression on the hammer spring. And what I'm going to shoot for is I'm going to shoot for a speed of around 915, around 10 to 15 feet higher than the speed I'm looking for, 900. Once I've achieved 915 feet per second, then I'm going to dial it back to 900 using the hammer spring adjustment. And that's how we'll come up with 900 feet per second for each of the 4 weights of pellets. So I've got 16 shots in the magazine. Let's see if we can do this in a maximum of 16 shots, and that's including a 10-shot string. So let's see how fast we can do this. All right, so 20 grainers up first, see what we come up with. Okay, first shot is at 902. I know I'm over dialed on the hammer spring. And just to show you that, let's go up to 7.5. 900. So I'm right there maxed out at kind of 902. So let me give the regulator a little bump. We're probably just looking for 3 to 4 bar, not much. Let's try it again. Looking for 910 to 915.
914.
914. Okay, so let's dial it back, and I'm going to try, based on the couple times I tried this, let's try 9.0.
900.
And there we've got it, 900. Let's see if we can get a 10-shot string and see if we can get a low extreme spread and a low standard deviation.
800. 98. 800. 91. 800. 93. 800. 95. 800. 93. 800. 95. 800. 93. 800. 93.
Okay, last one.
800. 98.
Okay, there you go. High of 900, low of 891, average 895. I think we could have gone a little bit higher with the hammer spring, maybe 500ths or 1000ths. Spread of 9, standard deviation of 3. So single digit extreme spread, standard deviation of 3. A little bit high, could have done a little bit better on the standard deviation, but that's pretty good. And we were going for single digit extreme spread. And let's see how many shots that took. I've got 3 left, so that took 13 shots, and 10 of them were the shot string. Let me get reloaded with 25 4s, and we'll move on. Okay, 25 4s are up next. We're going to use air arms, and let me change grain weight. That way our foot-pounds of energy are accurate. New string. Okay, should be good to go there. Now 25 4s to get them up to 900, we should be around 85 bar. So we'll just give the dial a little twist. Right there, looks like about 85 bar. And I know I'm going to need about 7.5 on the hammer. So let's over dial it all the way to 6. Should be okay. That should be maxed out for this pressure. That's what I'm doing. First shot.
900. 9.
Look at that. I think we're right there.
900. 9.
Okay, I'm going to go up on the pressure just a shade. Like that much.
900. 12.
I'm going to go up one more shade, and I'm going to back out the hammer spring. Let's try, there's 7.5. Let's try 7.25.
900.
900 on the money. Getting lucky here. Let's use that as our first shot for our string, and here we go.
900. 900. 900. 5. 900. 900, 2, 800, 98, 900, 900, 900.
See what that looked like. High 905, low 898, average 900, right on the money. Spread 7, standard deviation 2. That's pretty good. And how many shots did that take us? See how many left in the magazine. Again, 13 shots, so 3 to get it dialed in to this weight and velocity. Then we did a 10-shot string. That's the 25-4s. Let's move on to the 29 grain. And the 29 grain that I've got are JTS 29.63 grain pellets. And all these are, I'll put them up on the screen, but all of them are Diablo-shaped pellets. Round head, standard fare. Okay, let's change the weight. 29.63, new string. Okay, 29.63. I know I've got to be around 100 bar. Where are we at? About 86, 87 bar is where we ended up on the 25-4s. Let's see how much we got to turn to get from 87, let's call it, to 100. We started off about 7 o'clock on the knob. That's why that white dot on there is kind of useful. Let's call that 100. So we went from 7 o'clock to 3 o'clock probably, so maybe 4 hours. Gets you 13 bar. Okay, hammer spring, we're going to need around 6. So I'm going to over adjust it to 4.5. And that should be 4.5. Send this first one and see where we're at.
900, 12.
912, hit it again, almost perfect. Okay, I'm gonna tweak the regulator just a shade. And let's try it one more time.
900, 14.
And we're gonna call that good. So I know I need to be around 6, so let's just try it at 6 and see if that gets us to 900. Okay, there's 6 on the money. Let's see if this is close to 900.
800, 98.
898, close. I'm gonna add 500ths, so now we're at 595.
900.
Okay, there we go.
800, 98. 900, 900. 800, 98, 900.
It seems like the heavier the pellet is, I've noticed that the spread is even more consistent, so.
800, 93.
And just as I say something.
900, 900, 900.
So we had one 893 in there. Otherwise, it would have been a 2 spread. Is that right? Yeah, they were all 900s or 898s except for that one 893. We would have had a 2 spread on 9 shots, basically. So, okay, so same as the 25-4s. High of 900, low of 893, average 899. So we were trying to hit 900. And we were right there. Spread of 7, standard deviation of 2. Okay, easy peasy. And let's move on to the next. Final weight, new string. Okay, and the 34 grainers are JSB 3395s. What are these? Mark II redesigns, I think. I'll put a picture up, see how fast I can get my mag loaded. Yeah, so hopefully you can see how just terrifically easy this thing is to get dialed in to different pellet weights, and should be the same with slugs. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to shoot this as much as I would like to yet. Okay, 3395s, we need to be around 115 bar and around 5.0 on the hammer adjust. Okay, so 115 bar. We're at 3 o'clock. And we ended up at 11 o'clock, so 4 hours for a 15 bar. That regulator adjustment really is pretty easy to turn. So you don't need a great big huge knob on it to turn it. You can put plenty of torque on it with just that little knob, and I think that little knob looks real good. That's what I ended up going with. I said we needed to be at a 5 on the hammer spring. So yeah, 3.5, that's where I wanted to be. All right, first shot.
912.
912, hit it almost on the money. Evidently, our little demonstration has worked out pretty well. Okay, let's give it just a tweak. Not much.
900. 9.
Oh, it went down. All right, hang on. I didn't expect that.
900. 9.
Let's give it another tweak.
900. 12.
A little more.
900. 14.
Okay, 914. We're going to call it good right there. So let's back off the hammer spring to, there's 4, there's 4.5. Let's try 4.7.
900. 2.
A little high. Try 4.8.
800. 95.
We're going to go back to 4.7. And I've burned out 6 shots, so let's use this one. That was on 4.7. We're cheating a little bit, but not much. Okay, so should be 9 shots left.
800. 98. 900. 900. 900. 900. 900.
I'm not going to say anything till we get to the end.
800. 98.
Every time I say something, breaks the run.
800. 98. 900.
Wow, now that's tight. So high of 902, low of 898, average 900, spread of 4, standard deviation of 1. So it seems kind of true that the heavier you go on the pellets, the more consistent they shoot, especially in terms of feet per second. All right, what else? That was kind of my demonstration. I hope you guys found that interesting. It speaks for, kind of the consistency of the gun, and I hope it's consistent considering it's a high dollar gun. With FX, you're kind of in that top tier of air rifles. Build quality should really be very, very good, and it appears to be. The other thing it demonstrates, and what I mainly want to demonstrate, is just how easy it is to tune this rifle. Like if you want to go from 25-4s up to 34 grain pellets, you just go from 87 bar, 7.5 on the hybrid adjuster. You go from there to 115, 116 bar. 4.7 on the hybrid adjuster. Really super easy, and I think, if you've got the budget and you want to learn PCP rifles and, the adjustable ones, how to tune them, I think this is an absolutely great rifle to start with the addition of the regulator adjustment knob and the hybrid hammer spring knob. It just makes it just super simple to go from one pellet weight to another. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm going to list regulator adjustment and the hammer spring adjustment on eBay for sale, and I have about 10 units to get started here, and I've got kind of more units in production, but I really didn't know how many to make. I didn't know how popular this rifle is. It seemed like it was pretty popular. Anyway, there's a limited number of the kits available for now, and if the demand is there, I'll definitely make more. Take a look in the description on how you can find them on eBay. I figured eBay was the easiest way to get them out there to people and get some in the field for you guys to test, and let me know what you think. Hope this video didn't run too long, and I hope you found it useful. So like, subscribe, and I guess I'll see you next time. Okay. Thanks. Bye.